So you're in your team meeting and you've got yourself set up as a presenter, and your first attendee has already arrived and you're waiting for the rest to arrive. And you're sharing your PowerPoint, so your PowerPoint window's there, and your attendees are happily seeing your PowerPoint, and you hit Present Slideshow, either from this little icon here, or you pop up to Slideshow from beginning. And here we have the problem. The window will pop to full size, and you're trying to present your PowerPoint presentation, but you can't see any of the team's information. One of your students who's seeing a beautiful copy of your presentation decides to put their hand up, but you don't notice. You could flip back to the team screen every so often, but that might be a while. So this video is designed to show you the alternatives for presenting PowerPoint other than having to do this kind of full screen presentation. And there are a few alternatives, and I'm going to present them, the best solution first and the worst solution last. Now, for me, the best option for presenting pure PowerPoint content is to select the PowerPoint under the PowerPoint option here. Either you can select one of the recent PowerPoint presentations from Office 365 that you've recently selected, or you can browse and upload from your computer a PowerPoint presentation that isn't included. So I can select the presentation that you were seeing a moment ago, and that will immediately be displayed on my screen and also on the viewers. Now, one of the reasons people haven't liked this option is that it's possible for the students to browse forward in the presentation, because this presentation is actually coming from Office 365 directly, and so the student has independent control. Notice they can press a button to go back to the same slide that you're on, but they can look forward, potentially looking at answers to questions. As a presenter, you can move from slide to slide using these little arrows here. And you'll notice this little icon in the middle, this little eye icon. This allows you to force the students to see the slide that you're currently watching. So if the student's on a different slide, as soon as I press this icon, the student is forced back to the slide that I'm on, and their screen will perfectly shadow exactly what I'm looking at. This option is really good for showing the Teams class meeting welcome page that we've provided, which is a great way to start off your meeting. So that was the preferred share option, in my opinion. The second best option would be to share the PowerPoint window itself, as we did before. So the student can see this little window here, but notice they can also see all of the bits around the edge. One thing to note, that if you share your desktop or you share a particular desktop window, the meeting itself will minimize down here at the bottom. If you simply press the middle of that icon, it will re-expand Teams. So you can arrange your team over here so you can still see the participants, and you can still see when a student puts their hand up. Okay, so that's fine, but how do we overcome the fact that we've got all of this stuff around the edge? And if I press present, it's still going to go full screen. Well, the trick is to pop to the slideshow menu, and under Setup Slideshow, we can change the option from presented by a speaker full screen to browsed by an individual window, the second option down. The difference is now that when I start to run my presentation, the presentation will pop into a single window here. And the best thing to do is to arrange the presentation so there are as few gaps around the edge as possible. We do have a single little bar at the top explaining the title of the presentation, and we do have a little move from slide to slide icon at the bottom, but it does mean that we can move through our presentation, allowing us to see anything from Teams that we want to. Now, the least useful option is to share your desktop. If you wanted to discuss some content, maybe a PowerPoint or an Excel spreadsheet, but also have the chat visible so that everyone can see that and focus on that with your control, then that may be useful. But certainly from a student meeting point of view, it's advisable not to simply share your desktop and share everything you have installed on your computer. Now, the final thing I wanted to demo, going back to the preferred option of just sharing the PowerPoint presentation through Office 365, is to note that animations do work. So here's a slide that animates or transitions into the next slide, and you'll see that as I do that, what the viewer sees is a perfectly slick animation. Right, thanks for watching.